Welcome to this episode of the Possibility Wars. I am glad our first episode was entertaining enough to see you return. Before we get back into gameplay, I would like to address a couple of things. First, my goal is to keep these live play events as family and kid-friendly as possible. However, I would have you know we are mature individuals and have a tendency to let naughty words and innuendos slip sometimes. I hope that won't put you off from listening to or enjoying our game, so we might encourage you to play it as well. Second, it's my intent to wrangle up information concerning the progress of our war. This means information from the Cosm sourcebooks from the Near Now News Network, found on Twitter, and anything special or specific, including stories written as preface for these adventures. This may not begin until Act 3 of this adventure, so bear with me as I work to get things moving. The reason behind the war updates is to present a full world at war to you, and not simply the myopic vision of the small space our player group are presently acting within. Finally, I intend to perform software and hardware updates and upgrades, including purchasing a professional quality microphone in the near future. I am fully aware of the quality issues that took place with our inaugural video and may stick with us for some time to come. I also intend to purchase a copy of the Foundry Virtual Tabletop software package and learn it as rapidly as I can, for all manner of VTT reasons. In the meantime, I've learned how to use Craig on Discord to record the audio you heard in the last video, and how to use OBS Studio to record videos, which is open source software designed specifically for recording. Now to get this episode moving. Okay, introduction. Alright, our heroes on the Ferry LeMarque, Penny Peaches Gonzalez, a New York firefighter, and Chris Cross, an aerospace engineer, visiting New York, found themselves under invasion by a reality not their own, caught on a sinking vessel with many innocent passengers, and attacked by lizardmen, small pterodactyls, and massive mosasaurs. Mo, one of the attacking Edeinos warriors, and a Priest of Lanala, his goddess, switched sides mid-combat and became a storm knight, and, along with Penny and Chris, began fighting their way out of Manhattan. I now humbly and gratefully return you to our program of the Possibility Wars. All of you are more or less wandering down the street. The 12, including Lena, and 10 of these folks, 9 of these folks, I'm trying to place where everybody's at on the street. Mo has Lena more or less in tow. She seems to be sticking to him. Mo might not be sure if this is just a safety thing or more of an attraction thing, hence the romance card. Primitive Finn and Primitive Cam are both hanging around very closely to Peaches, and then Chris is kind of mixed in with the other 9, maybe in front of them or beside them, or whatever, just generally close. Okay, now of course you're looking at the Torg Eternity screen on here, and you can see all 3 of your tokens on here, but you can kind of also picture the mob that you're in. Now that mob is kind of sticking close to buildings, even though they're falling apart. Peaches, having encountered the sand rather than the glass, may figure out that, of course, glass comes from sand when it's melted down and purified.
I'd say I would notice that
Yeah,
kind of
Chris
fact.
would notice that more before I would.
Okay.
He would notice, consciously make that jump before I would realize it.
Mhm.
Even though I've been in enough burning buildings to know what that glass doesn't turn back to sand; it turns into melted puddles, and before it goes back to sand.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I know the decomposition of materials when fire has been applied, but this is not fire.
Right. But there's
Not in the
no.
sensor.
Yeah. There is no sharp glass on the ground though.
Yeah, well, I think being a firefighter, I am aware of altered states more than the average person.
Mhm.
And
So
I can.
you could
Yeah.
at least go, that's peculiar. Whereas Chris might actually go, that's really
Just
weird.
reverted back.
Yeah, it reverted back. Now,
Also, that would make I would be kind of piecing things together. Like, Ginger was kind of griping earlier. Was like, how can anything live in the Hudson?
Hudson, yeah.
And I was like, well, if it was reverted back to a natural river, it would be livable.
I did say it was salty. It had reverted back to saltwater.
It was let's put it this way: it was a lot cleaner than you've ever remembered it being in your entire life.
Yeah, and that I
And
could taste
instantly.
salt, not sewage.
Exactly.
I still want to take a round of antibiotics when I get to the hospital.
That's probably not a bad idea. Now, all three of you notice something else that's going on. Except, well, Lena, her clothing has basically almost entirely turned into a fur bikini, and she's got fur boots, almost like they appeared for her out of nowhere, and they
That's
are
very
protecting her.
fashion forward. I didn't think New Yorkers wore anything but black.
Exactly. And as a matter of fact, you recall when you got on the ferry that morning that she was wearing black.
You know, the black turtleneck and pants and trench kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Now Wade is walking closely to her, and she's walking closely to Mo. And let's see, it's Vanessa who might be kind of out front with Chris. I don't know where you want Chris to be at.
Chris, are you more point in the middle or watching our six?
I say I'll be around the middle-ish, maybe to the side, closer to one of the sides of the crowd. But
Okay.
Okay.
I wouldn't. I would
going to-
definitely not be at front or back.
And I want to do rock paper scissors with Isabel on who gets the front and who does the back. So if someone can just roll a 6-sided dice for even odd, I'll take even. She's odd, and we'll find out who's front and who's back from that.
I think Mo got the backs.
Well, yeah, he is, but that's because Lena and Wade are kind of in the back of the party.
Okay.
I'm ready to roll a die 6 for you if you want.
Sure,
Yeah, go
roll
ahead.
it.
Okay, a 4. We didn't declare who was evens or odds.
I did. Isabel was. I said I would be even, and Isabel is odd. So I'm front. Isabel's back.
Okay. When you and Isabel were talking, she's like, I still can't get this firearm to function. I know it's a firearm, but I don't know how it works.
Isabel said that?
Isabel said that. She hasn't
right.
had her moment of crisis.
No. So
Is she looking confused about like how to use that thing she's holding?
Well, she was looking confused, but she puts it back in her holster. Okay,
Oh.
because she doesn't want to lose it, but she doesn't know what it is. She's certain that it is some kind of a weapon, and she kind of tells you guys all of this. I think it's some kind of weapon, but I just don't know what it is.
Okay, Isabel, do you remember what this shotgun does?
I think it's another thing like my pistol. I think
Yes.
it's, but it's just I I don't know how to use it.
All right. I take a shell because I got the ammunition belt too. You said there was a patch of shells or
Yep.
a bandolier thing of
A little
belted shells?
bandolier. Yep.
I take a shell and I load the gun
Mm-hmm.
and I say it's going to make a very loud noise.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Not particularly, but I think as long as we're ready to leave the area pretty immediately,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm going to make a very loud noise, and then we're going to head that way 3 blocks. Okay?
Mo's just standing in the back, watching back down the street, looking
Right.
up every now and then, trying to wonder why they're not moving.
Right, exactly. So
I kind of agree with Mo on that point. Like, hey, can we move?
I showed her how to load it. I tell her it fires projectiles. I show her I'm going to aim at the top of this light post.
Let me stop you.
This traffic signal.
Let me stop you real quick.
Yes.
When you show her, you turn the firearm over and feed the shell into the bottom. The problem is, she's like, where did it go?
It ate it.
It ate it. Then
it likes to eat the.
I come walking up and I take the shotgun away from her.
No, you don't. Look, it likes to eat the candy and spit out the seed.
Candy? What's candy?
This is a special fruit.
Okay.
It finds it very yummy.
Okay.
I point
So
down
it
again.
eats its special yummy food and spits out the seed.
Only it can eat.
It's the only thing it can eat. No one else can eat this.
She won't give up this thing. I turn around, I look at a cop woman, and I pop the spear on the ground and offer it to her. The second one.
Uh
Does she understand spear?
yeah, she looks like, oh, that's nice. Where
All
did
right,
that
I'm
come
keeping the shotgun.
from?
No, I'm like gesturing for everybody to move on.
Mhm.
All right, Chris.
I'm still very agitated.
Well,
right then.
the crowd actually didn't stop moving, just slowed down a bit.
Yeah, so we're moving along, and I'm going to keep the shotgun. I'm trying to mull this over. What exactly is happening to Isabel,
Hmm
who should know this and be trained, and she doesn't.
She looks comfortable with that spear, though.
She does, and I'm grateful. And I'm like, Chris, did you actually point out that the sand had regressed?
Yeah, I'm kind of pointing this out, kind of mentally talking about this.
Mhm.
And then it's like when you kind of bring attention at like looking at how it, how she changed, I'm like, okay, so if I'm getting this right, I don't think she can understand anything modern anymore, just like how Finn and Cam changed into that primitive state. They can't
Uh-huh.
understand anything anymore.
That's so strange. What's
But
happening to us?
here's something else that you notice. The clothing on various folks, and we already talked about Lena and how she's got her rabbit fur bikini, basically. But Vanessa, the medic, her clothes have not begun to be eaten or degraded, anything like that, in a serious fashion. Whereas all the rest of the group, except for you three, all of their clothing has started to degrade. It's starting to shred. It's threadbare. And this is, I mean, they were in perfectly fine condition hours ago. You never saw anybody snag a pant leg or a shoe or anything on a grate or a piece of rebar or anything like that. And yet it looks like their clothing is shredded.
Like worn out or
Like, yeah, like they've been
It's
wearing
like
it for years.
it's become strategically shredded, just like the bikini.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
they're doing the battle shorts and halter tops
Yeah.
and muscle shirts.
Yeah, in essence. That's exactly right.
Oh wow! Not that I'm complaining.
Anyway, for Mo, a bit too much, but you understand what's going on um, due to one of the world laws that you have, which is the law of savagery.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's just kind of coming apart. You've seen this once before, okay? And it's kind of disconcerting to watch all of these monkeys undressing.
So unattractive,
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
but
Except
yes,
for
but
Lena.
except for Lena.
but I love the descriptions and all the Torg books on how it's becoming sexy in a strategic Tarzan kind of way.
Exactly. So while you have coverings for breasts and you have coverings for nether regions, they are very strategically torn or degraded so that you don't see anything overtly. You would still have to look up from a low spot. Let's put it that way.
oh,
Oh, dear.
uh,
So they're getting more and more tattered in a sexy Tarzan kind of way.
And then you've got like Professor Moore, whose hair in exposed spots where his pants are torn and his shirt is torn and everything like that, and it's too hot to keep his clothes on. You see everything on the man is soaked, and there's hair everywhere that wasn't before, and he just acts completely natural, like it's always been there. It would be the same thing with Gray, and of course with primitive Finn and Cam. So
They're getting all bearded and hairy.
yeah. Oh, see here there's Alina on if any of you are looking at the Andrew just posted a of oh, what is her name? Raquel, was that Raquel Welch?
I think so.
Yeah. And that would be how Lena is actually Matter of fact, I wouldn't doubt it that the artist fashioned Lena after a picture like this.
Raquel Welch in the original Planet of the Apes?
I
Maybe it
think
doesn't tell
Land of
me
the
which.
Lost.
It
I'm
doesn't.
thinking it
She
was
wasn't
Land
in
of.
Land of the Lost.
No,
okay.
the original Planet of the Apes, the very first one.
Oh wow, the original. Well,
Yeah.
that could always be looked up. I am.
Well, 1 million years.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
See that?
I found a thing on the bottom of the picture.
Oh, there you go.
From
Oh,
one.
what'd you do? Zoom in?
No. I still. It was still up on the other side of my page.
Yes.
Yeah.
From
if
1 million years BC.
If you look up Planet of the Apes original poster,
1966.
Yeah.
it's Planet of the Apes poster Raquel Welch. Google that.
Right. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Anyway, that's pretty much exactly what Lena would look like. I kind of pictured her with longer legs, but that's I think that's how they drew her, is with longer legs and everything like that. But anyway, imagine her holding a huge rock shoot spear. What it looked set of vines all woven together and hardened up like wood. You're all together. You're moving down the road, and you wanted to show Isabel, Officer Reyes, how to use the shotgun. Are you sure you want to fire that?
I say
Well,
no.
I really don't want to make the loud noise, and now that I think about it, she looks so very confused.
Mhm.
I'll just keep this right here for safekeeping,
She's like, okay, thank you.
and let's hurry.
Yeah, certainly. What does she have? Yeah, she's got, well, there's that 38 revolver she's got for her backup weapon. She's got bare hands. She doesn't look like she would really make a great haymaker against anybody, but she's definitely got fighting muscles. Let's put it that way. So you all get moving down the street about 3 more blocks, and you see a bunch of people that are looting a store. They're taking stuff out of the store, big screen TVs and stuff like that. Anything that has not yet broken or fallen apart, these people are trying to get away with. But you think that they're operating, they act and move and look around all the time like they're working more on instinct. What do you do?
Say leave them alone.
Oh, come
Okay.
on,
Well, the
Chris.
hospital is only like 3 more blocks.
Let's
And
just move on to the hospital.
They're
I'm pretty sure
looters.
in this sort of situation, the law actually allows us to loot stores.
I really don't. I really. Can we at least chase them off?
It's up to you. You could do it on your own. You could enlist Isabel's aid, maybe even Professor Moore's aid.
I say let's not and move on. It's not like they're hurting us.
Okay, so you just cross the street away from that store and just kind of want to work your way around?
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay, is everybody in agreement with that?
No, but
My character's not even unless they pose a danger. I don't understand what looting is, so I'm not paying them really any attention.
Okay, and Ginger?
I look at Isabel like, you good with this?
She's really confused. She just kind of she's looking around. The urgency that she had to get to the police station is not really there any longer, and you're beginning to sense from her a sense of fear.
Isabel, can you tell me the Pledge of Allegiance?
She looks at you like you have 3 heads.
Come on. I pledge allegiance to the flag
I
of the
pledge
United States
allegiance.
of America.
Okay. She is really kind of confused.
Can she recite it at all?
She tries. She tries to go on from where you leave off, but she misses several words. She exchanges words, and by the time she gets almost to the end, she's so frustrated she just quits outright.
I praise her efforts anyway. And that decides me. We need to get to the hospital. Stat. Something's wrong.
Okay. And you're right. Something is way wrong with with pretty much all of these folks, except of course Lena, who has been wrong since the ferry, and Vanessa. Vanessa actually walks around understanding what you were trying to do and kind of wraps her arm around Isabel's shoulders, kind of emboldening her a little bit. And
Supportive?
Yeah, supportive. And Isabel stands up a little bit straighter, but she's still confused. She's got a little bit of a grin on her face, but she's confused. Wade seems to still have his faculties around him, but he too is like looking at his hockey stick, his most favored hockey stick, like it's a foreign object.
Hey,
So
Wade, what's your favorite team? Your favorite
um
hockey team?
I don't know. And he's wearing a shirt. Matter of fact, I think it lists his favorite team in here, but no, it doesn't. And I'm not very well versed in hockey teams, I'm afraid.
That's
But
all right. Wade, what are you listening to on your pod there?
on my what?
Your music, your headphones.
Headphones?
Yeah, those things around your neck.
Neck. He goes to feel around his neck, and he acts with surprise that there's something there, and he goes to rip off his headphones and throw them on the ground.
No. Never mind. It's okay.
And
Keep-
the
keep 'em on.
headphones kind of stick with him, but he's dragging them along the ground as he. Very weird. Everybody else seems to be kind of losing understanding of things that they should know by rote. They should have all of this information that you might ask them down easily.
Oh my God, I'm having images of Fight Club. His name is Robert Paulson. Oh dear.
I've never seen Fight Club. I'm gonna
Have
have to
I?
see if I'm gonna have to see if that's on Netflix.
That's a movie where I think of Fight Club as a cult where you're not supposed to mention it. And
Yeah.
when one fellow suffers a misadventure, they immortalize him by giving him his name back by saying his name was Robert Paulson, even though they weren't supposed to ever identify each other because the first rule of Fight Club is you don't mention Fight Club, right?
Yeah.
First rule about Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club.
So to say, loud and proud, his name was Robert Paulson, was, a way to immortalize their fallen heroes
Yeah.
in a very twisted psychology type of film. You should watch it.
Oh, it was an interesting movie. It really was.
It's very harsh. Anyways, so yeah, it's very reality based.
Hmm.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, it demonstrates the reality skill quite nicely. Anyways,
Yes.
so
Yeah,
Yeah,
it does
I'll have
that.
to see that for sure.
So
he really
anyway,
wants-
I continue to wonder why this monkey keeps stopping.
Fine. I'm moving along, even though my instinct as a protector is to stop the looters. But
if the looters look our way while we're doing that,
yeah,
I like raise my hackles and like hiss at them a little bit to make sure they think that it's very wise to keep doing whatever it is they're doing and not do it over here.
yeah, I would cock
Okay.
the shotgun that I kept if that's the case.
All right. Okay, so you're all moving along, kind of cross the street so that you can get away more or less from these looters, and they turn around and they're kind of watching you. And as you get just close enough, because the street is only so wide, and the sidewalks with them are only so wide, they kind of start
Yeah, well, we'll
trying to scare you
posture
away.
right. Yeah, I'm
That's
gonna
when I
posture right
posture
back.
back and throw an intimidate at them.
Yeah, I'll do
Okay.
the same.
Okay, so both of you go ahead and roll it. Intimidate, difficulty number of 10. So just, we'll go with that.
I don't think I have the skill.
Well, intimidate, let me get to page 79.
The spirit. Here we go.
It's a
I think
spirit.
that's spirit, yeah.
Yeah, it's on my character sheet. It's on the second, on the right hand column, the very top skill.
Yeah, I got it.
Yep.
I just rolled. There we go.
Okay, so let's see. Roll total of 5, so that's a success. Peaches,
I'd disconnect if it weren't, if it were something that it
if it
wasn't
were
just
4 case, yeah.
glaring.
So let me kind of explain the cases and how these work. All of you, if you're looking at Roll20, you'll see that Ginger rolled for an intimidate test, and it was a failure. Disconnect if 4 case. Well, a 1 case is where the item that you're trying to use, or an item or skill that you're trying to use, is either above your axiom or above the axiom of the area. Now, do you understand what I mean by axiom?
Yes, it's Each reality has a set of statistics
Mhm.
like science or magic,
Spirit and social.
spirit,
Yep.
and social. And in this case, I was using just glaring posturing
Mm-hmm.
to intimidate. So I wasn't, say, trying start up a helicopter or actually fire the gun that I'm holding.
Yeah, because that could have led to a. Actually, let's see. Which firearm do you have? The shotgun.
I have the shotgun in my hands, and
Okay.
I was brandishing it
In a
in
menacing
my
manner.
intimidate.
Well, since you're from Core Earth, this would only be a one case because the shotgun tech value would exceed the tech value for Living Land, which is I believe it's only a 7, isn't it?
6.
6. Okay. So, that's right. 1, 6, 24, 7. So in that case, if you had rolled a 1 on the D20, you would have disconnected, which means that you would have started becoming Bibbledy like Isabel is.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So that's for our audience out there. Whomever our audience
And,
is.
and because
If you ever get any.
and if I were using the shotgun, a 4
Mhm.
case, because anything a 4 or less
No.
means that I kind of lose the tech value.
Well, no.
It-
If the shotgun tech value was both above your tech axiom as your character and the tech axiom of the area, that would be a 4 case.
and in this case, it is neither. Because I'm a
In this case, it is neither because you're not actually using the shotgun. The looters that are across the street don't understand the meaning of shotgun. Okay, they don't understand firearms at all. Their brain cannot take it into
yeah.
thought.
They
Okay.
see it as a rather harmless stick, and
Y-
and you could rationalize it that because they don't see it as a threat, my intimidation attempt totally failed.
Yes, yours did, but you did not disconnect because there was nothing to allow you to disconnect. Now, Mo, on the other hand, being 2 feet, 2.5 feet taller than you are, and being an Edeinos is especially a red jaw, that kind of leads to a success. Well, all 5 of these looters kind of jump like the monkeys they have turned into and run off down the street to your left. So opposite of the direction you've been traveling. They run away from you and they disappear into an alley somewhere. And they're like screeching, oh, 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 go, run, run.
Wow, that's really strange.
Did you just sound like
That-
Perry the Platypus?
I, I I should point out that like my character actually has some war paint on that outlines his lower jaw in like a
in
red
bloody red, huh?
in
Mhm.
bloody red. It's not tattooed. I didn't get the tattoo, which is which is an option. I could have got my tribe tattooed on me, but in this case, I'm just wearing a war paint type outfit. I was too young to be tattooed at the time. If I survived this, I would have gotten tattooed afterwards.
Yeah, as kind of
Rite of
the
passage.
ability to a rite of passage into your tribe in
Mm-hmm.
specific, because there are a few red jawed Edeinos tribes out there.
Mm-hmm.
You would have been able to get into yours, but now they might actually be hunting for you. So
Possibly, they certainly
That's-
will eventually.
yeah,
If
if they ever find out.
if they ever find out, but say there's no survivors to tell them now, so it's a
There's not even any bodies to tell them now. They're either at the bottom of the Hudson or in Mosasaur stomach.
Yep.
Okay. So so
Uh,
see, there was a method to Mo's madness. It's mostly madness, but you know.
Uh,
Yeah, well,
uh,
okay. Peaches would be, just on a personal level,
Mhm.
disappointed that a woman in full, like in partial firefighter gear with an axe and a shotgun
mhm.
is way less intimidating than a hissing walking belt of a lizard.
yeah, yeah. Mo did his thing, and he heard her back there going ooh, ooh ah, and like shoving his shotgun in the air, and he just sort of gives her that side lizard eye, like roll around looking at her. with this.
Really?
Really?
Oh, glad to know that eye rolling is contentious universally.
Really?
Yeah, he got his point across just fine.
How,
Yeah.
how about don't back me up on these? All right. Uh,
Okay, so like my
You-
shoulders droop a little bit, but we move along.
Okay. So, as you know, as these guys clear out, you get down to another corner at the end of the street, and looking left, you actually see a group of humans at the other end of the street, and there's a fire there. For Chris and Peaches, you know that it's a Volkswagen Bug that's on fire, but it's only on fire like from under the engine. So
Oh.
Did they turn a Volkswagen Bug into like a trash can fire?
you can't tell from where you're at. You would have to go a whole block just to find out what's going on. All you know is you see some blue wandering around as if people are wearing uniforms down there.
Oh,
But you're not entirely certain. It's like there are a couple of vehicles. From what you can see, there's a police car almost next to the bug that's on fire, and then there's a bunch of city trash bins, the really big trash bins
yeah.
that have been rolled into place
As barriers.
as barriers. And all of these folks, there's 9 people down there who are just kind of hanging around.
Isabel,
That's okay.
Doc, are we close? How close are we to
Is-
the hospital?
You look at Isabel, and of course she's standing a bit taller, but she's like trying to shake cobwebs from her head. She's looking confused, but she's shaking those cobwebs away. Vanessa's like, yeah, it's right down that way. What we would have to do is we're either going to have to go down a block and then over a block to the left, or we're going to have to go down to where that barricade is, and then to the right to get to to the hospital.
Isabel, do you recognize any of these guys?
Uh, not this far away. I couldn't tell you who they are.
Are they wearing the same uniforms as she is?
Actually, she's not in uniform. She's got her badge with her, and she's got her 38 in a holster, but she's not actually in a uniform. You know that she's a police officer because when all hell started breaking loose, she did pull out her badge and put it on her shirt.
Is her badge? Is she local police?
Yeah, it's a New York City badge. The badge is actually kind of starting to tarnish quite badly.
Oh dear.
And you know for a fact that badge, she took great care of that badge.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've chased off the 5 looters, and you came to the street corner, and you look down, and Vanessa, the former Army paramedic, tells you how to get to the hospital. It's either 1 block further down, and then you're going to take a left to get to it, or you take a left now and go down to this barricaded area to find out what's going on. I leave it to you to discuss.
Can we try to avoid the barricade? People have been acting really weird.
They're going to be acting really weird at the hospital too. I mean, there's not going to be anywhere that's not really weird. And this is
Do-
real close to the hospital. They could be associated with it.
Do you think?
I
Or
ask
that's why I
something
asked
real quick?
Isabel if she recognized anybody.
Sure, what's up, Chris?
Do they look organized or do they look like tribal-ish, kind of how they're going?
Oh
It-
yeah, are their clothes tattered?
From where you're at, you're probably a good 150 feet away from them. It's kind of difficult to tell. Their movements seem to be kind of lumbering, like you've seen out of Finn and Cam, and the 5 looters that you just chased off. But you see that there's kind of a central, unmoving figure in the middle of the others.
I say let's avoid them.
Isabel, Doc.
Doc is like, I don't know. There could be somebody injured down there that we could help. They don't look like their movement is agitated. And Isabel, she's just run out of opinion. She looks exhausted.
I string my bow.
Okay.
What is Mo gesturing?
Oh, Mo just takes out his bow and strings it. Yeah.
Oh,
And
So
then,
going forward, he's thinking of shooting people. I think that's
well,
a good reason to go the other way.
well, I mean, he's not making any committal. He's just y'all
I know
look
what a
back and
bow
forth
is.
between these two different like tribal groups, and he's like, oh great, they can't make up their minds if they want to fight them or want to converse with them. Yeah, yeah, fine.
Let's try to avoid them by going. You said left.
Well,
Just straight down, then left.
Yeah, straight.
Yeah, we can basically either try to go back a little bit and around the block that way, or keep going forward and try to duck off before we get to them. But there isn't much cover going that way.
What he said was we could turn left like now-ish and go down that block, and then be right up then, and then go down another block to the hospital, or we could just go down a block and then turn left, and then there's the hospital.
Yeah, well, unless the people want to, unless our group wants to go forward, I'm okay with going back and around.
Okay, so you start to continue down the block, but before you can even finish clearing the street, you hear a T-Rex roar, or at least a dinosaur roar, I should say. And
Some
you
strange
see,
yertle that I wouldn't know what's up from a goat or a lizard.
that's probably true. You wouldn't really know the difference until
You
you.
would totally know the difference between a dinosaur and a goat. A goat would sound like a human, and a dinosaur would sound like a dinosaur.
I don't know. Have you ever heard a goat scream?
Yes,
It
I have
sounds
goats.
like a
Yes, they
child
sound
screaming.
weird.
Yeah, yeah. So
You still know the difference.
Well, I haven't seen a difference, and just because there's Mosasaurs in the Hudson River doesn't necessarily mean that I'd connect that there's a T-Rex in downtown New York.
well,
Yeah.
actually, the
large aggressive sounding animal.
the large aggressive sounding sound is very quickly met by the large aggressive individual, or not individual, the large aggressive actual Tyrannosaurus Rex. What you
Ah.
have all come to know from various pictures, History Channel, the museum, whatever.
Oh, fuck that! I've seen Jurassic Park.
It charges over one of the dilapidated trash bins, and you can see from where you're at, there is an Edeinos on top with what appears to be a very primitive bow and arrow, and it is shooting at uh, some of the people that are on the ground.
Oh man alive! I am going to. My instinct would be to run to the rescue. Chris, Isabel. I jerk my head towards the Jurassic Park fossil that's attacking.
Well, as you're jerking your head in that direction, you see that there are several other Edeinos that charge over various parts of the barricade and start killing those that are within.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to run to the defense of the people.
Okay. All right, if that's what you're sure you want to do.
My firefighter character, I couldn't imagine not running to the rescue.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So you start running down the street. Do you try and fire on your way there?
When I'm within range, because remember the weapon in my hands is the shotgun and not the rifle.
Right. Okay.
And I would want to get right up close and when I'm within short distance and shoot that Triana T-Rex right in its scaly mouth.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Hey,
just if I could get it to like snap at me, I'm going to shove it down this shotgun down its throat.
wow.
Mo goes.
Hey, Connor, I like the new image you put up for your character.
Oh,
That's a cool one.
I sent an image. What image are you talking about, Connor?
I changed it to image I found on Pinterest.
An anime character.
Yeah? Is it
Yeah,
in your bio?
Oh, there you go.
that's pretty neat.
Oh,
I
I
like that.
love it, Connor. Perfect.
So much as the white shirt wearing, pocket protector holding,
Nerd.
nerd.
Which you kind of are. Make no mistake.
Yeah.
Make
How,
no
how, how
mistake.
old?
I
How
am a
old is
bit
your
of a nerd.
character?
Oh,
How old is your character? Just like like fresh out of college
Yeah,
engineer.
he's like 26 or so, I would think.
I didn't put too much thought in age.
Yeah, he's one of the he was one of those child prodigy types.
Okay, so it seems that the blood of some of the folks that that are there with you is up. So like Primitive Finn, Primitive Cam, Lena in particular, the three of them charge off with you no problem. Isabel seems to argue with herself for a moment, but then she begins to follow you as well, trying to draw the weapon. She knows it's a weapon, but even when she goes click with it, even when she pulls the trigger with it, it doesn't fire.
Well,
Um,
I assume it.
Have a
She's
spear
tried that
now, though.
before. Fair enough. I assume she got it wet or something because it didn't fire before on the ferry.
that's true. That's true. And she could have gotten it wet in the Hudson.
Are the ranges on the weapons, are those feet or yards?
Those are supposed to be meters, but the guys at Ulisses Spiele forgot that virtual tabletops don't deal in meters. So we're going to call it, say it has a short range of 10. That's
Mhm.
actually 10 squares, and each square is 3 feet, so a yard. So
All right, so yeah, so it's in yards. All right,
yeah,
and effectively it's in yards.
I apologize, but I don't have the stats for the shotgun anywhere.
okay. I'm
And my
going.
character is aiming for the T-Rex more than
Okay.
anything else.
All right. Here's what I want you to do. Are you looking at your weapons right now?
Yes.
Go ahead and hit the add button,
Add
and then click in the space for weapon, and go ahead and type Remington 870.
Remington 870.
Yes, it's got an axiom of 22.
Axiom 22.
Skill is fire combat.
Fire combat.
Damage is 14.
Damage 14.
Yeah, not the
Uh,
damage formula, just the damage.
Correct. Ammo?
Ammo is 15. So you've got 3 in the chamber.
Okay.
Now they're set up normally so that you can do 5, but there's a block in there because of the law. So you can only actually carry 3 rounds in the magazine. Okay, so
All right.
the other 12 are on the bandolier that Isabel was carrying. The range is 10, 20, 30.
10, 20, 30.
And of course, for notes, it's just shotgun. And the reason I have you put that note there is because it's got a spread to it.
Right.
Okay.
All right. Since I'm carrying it and I did load it with 3 shots
Hmm.
in an attempt to re-familiar Isabel with it.
Okay.
So it's fully loaded at this point. But did
Mhm.
I have the ammunition belt back from her as well?
I don't see why not. Since she can't use the weapon, you might as well grab all the ammo that goes with it too.
Yeah, so over my fireman's coat, I
Mhm.
have the bandolier.
Okay. Okay, I'm not bringing you guys over to the map just yet because you're still about halfway down the street away from where this map starts.
And getting closer, I hope, because
Yeah.
I would like to come up behind them, but not screaming. So hopefully from cover.
Actually, the bad guys attacked from what would be considered a perpendicular street. So the way you're running, they're actually proceeding from your left to your right.
We're at right angles to them, or
Yes,
at least we're right angles to their attack.
right.
All right, so they wouldn't really see us until we're right up on them. Is that what you're saying?
Well, no, they're sidelong. If they detect you at all, it's going to be a bad thing. Okay, hang on just a second. I've got some. No, I don't want the big one. I want the small one. Why can't I get the small one?
Yeah. Is there any kind of cover between us and them, like a dumpster? The flaming Volkswagen?
No, that's all the way up where they're fighting.
Yeah, that's all the way up where they're fighting, but is there any cover our direction?
See any cover up your direction? Not really. No, it's street. Things are similar to what you've seen. Hey,
Rusted cars?
yeah, there's about 2 or 3 rusted cars out there. Some garbage cans. Actually, no, there's no garbage cans on that part of the street. So
That's not a good thing when the GM says that's cool.
well,
Not
Not
always.
necessarily.
Sometimes it's good for us.
It's like the men in white coats on the news saying, I'm Dr. So-and-so. Everything's just fine.
okay, so this T-Rex comes up and it takes one of these blue suited individuals and chomps it
Oh no. Oh no,
right
no, no.
there. Yeah. Okay. So you're getting closer. You're probably, I don't know, you've been moving pretty sufficiently. So probably about you're about 50 feet away, maybe. You're well within range of that shotgun. I'm going to tell you that.
All right.
Because that's let's see, that would actually be medium range, that shotgun, since it's 10, 20, 30. And of course that's not with a solid slug. You don't have any solid slugs, but if you had solid slugs, that'd be more like 75, 150, 225, because solid slugs of course travel further.
Well, as long as I'm within close enough to fire.
Mm-hmm.
It is a shotgun.
Mm-hmm.
So I would aim for this thing's head.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay. Since it's so large a creature, it has a +4 to hit bonus for you, but since you're running, that's a -2. So you've got a net bonus of.
If we haven't been noticed and there's nobody shooting at us, I would come to a stop, raise the shotgun, and fire. I mean, as long as we're, I would take a moment to stop and fire. I would not run and fire at the same time. I'm not being
Okay.
fired upon yet.
Right. Okay. That makes sense.
That's why I
Okay.
was looking for cover. I was looking for a place to, like, even a utility pole. If I could put the vulnerable parts of my body behind the pole, kneel down, and aim, I would do so.
She wants to use the take cover action.
All right. Well, so take cover. Oh, well, you don't have a token to work with right now. So if you want to have a little bit of cover, that's fine. Get a little bit of bracing for the shotgun. That works.
Yeah, because the shotgun's got a hell of a kick. I'm gonna kneel down, brace, and fire.
Yeah.
And I'll do that as a multi-action if it's possible, but that's my intention.
Well, now, okay, what all would be involved in the multi-action?
Kneel down under cover, aim, bring it up, like brace it, and fire.
Okay. All right. So are you actually going to take an aim one whole turn and then fire on it?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll exactly do that.
So that'll get you an additional +4 to hit. So that's a total of +6 to hit this T-Rex.
Excellent, because that thing must die.
I'm doing the same thing with my bow. I'm probably not quite as close because she's faster. But,
yeah.
But yeah, I move up. I move up somewhere and at least kneel down and like draw my bow back. And I'm taking aim, but I'm aiming at the rider.
Okay. Now the rider is not very large, so actually hitting him, you do get that +4. So okay. So Connor, what are you doing with Chris?
I seeing them to kind of run off. I was like, I kind of do the begrudgingly kind of go like, fine, and start kind of heading their direction. So I think I'm like the farthest away at this point because
Mhm.
I ran the latest,
Okay.
and I'm gonna kind of keep on going until I'm like in the 50 range.
Oh, okay. So
Um,
you're going to keep moving up while Mo and Peaches are firing.
but kind of sticking close to rank coverish areas.
Okay. All right. Okay. Vanessa is taking the larger portion of the group, including Finn and Cam, who would rather stick with you, and trying to herd them more or less into a building or into a shadowy area because she doesn't know what is going to go on. But, well, we're going to deal with that in just a minute. So, um, Peaches, why don't you go ahead and try and fire on this thing first? But let me get it opened up. Tyrannosaurus Rex. There we go. And let's see. You get a +4 bonus to hit it. You don't have the -2 because of movement because you stopped. So its dodge is a 10. So go ahead and try to hit it. Your difficulty number to hit is a 10.
Is 10. Submit. All right.
Okay, you've got a good success. That's pretty nice. That'll get you 1 bonus die of damage. So if you want to go ahead and roll that bonus die, okay, you're trying to beat a toughness. You ready for this?
Oh dear.
20.
Oh, good God. So bonus dice 1.
Mm-hmm. And then
Submit.
mhm.
Target toughness 20?
Yes.
Oh, good Lord. Those things are awful.
Okay, so you've done a whole 1 shock to it.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
And I've announced to everybody where we are.
Actually, yeah, just as Mo fires his arrow, the beast rider on top actually snaps his head in your direction. So, now wait a minute. You had the, let's see, you had the +4 because of aiming for 1 round. You had the +4 to hit it. So let's see. That means your roll total would actually be higher than that. So that would be bonus of 13. So actually, we're talking about an outstanding success. So you could actually roll. Crap, I screwed up. That's okay. We can do something with this.
I can re-roll it.
No, you don't have to re-roll it.
Didn't you
Roll it.
just do a coup de grace?
Yeah, do a coup de grace.
What does hold on.
It's down at
very
the
bottom.
bottom left.
I'm looking for it. Gotcha. Coup de grace. Roll.
Okay.
What's
That
the
should
previous effect was what?
the previous effect was you had a base of 14. Your effect after bonus dice was -4. So, oh, that's not too bad. Okay. So hang on a second. What do you recall rolling with those? Oh, wait a minute. It's right there. Okay. So you only rolled a bonus of 2. So that means you were total of 6 below its toughness. So let's see. Trying to figure this out. My mather ain't working tonight. So let's go with it. Just put in the -4 effect after bonus die -4. Okay, you got up to a whole 2 shock. So that's
Is
1
that
shock
a
better.
total of 3 shock or a total of 2?
No, because the new effect was 0, so the total result is 2 shock.
Okay.
So, yeah, that roll actually only would have gotten you a 5. Let's see, what did it roll? Okay, no, 4. It was a bonus of 4 on that damage, so it got you a total of 2 shocks. So you were 1 point into being able to get to the next rating as far as shock goes. Make sense?
That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine. Yeah. It's a T-Rex. It's gonna be hard to kill.
Yeah, just maybe a little bit. I don't know. Fun. So Edeinos Beast Rider.
All right,
I know that Mosasaur would have kicked my ass if it weren't for Lena and the lizard that likes
Mhm.
her.
Hey, what about me?
We're not there yet. Let me deal with.
I'm talking to Ginger.
Oh heck yeah, Chris, you're the science boffin that like seems to be acting as a pocket nuclear warhead. It's like, oh gee, here's my nerd friend Chris, who's got a nuclear warhead in his backpack.
Now wait a minute. Okay, so Mo,
Yes.
let's see. I didn't calculate this properly last time. The way that I had done it in the last game. So you took a turn to aim.
Yes.
So we're going to apply that as a -4 to its defense. So and that's what I forgot to do with Peaches, but we were able to compensate for that.
Okay.
I have a genius brain and I can't use it. I'm telling you, it's terrible. Um, I'll have to explain that sometime. Anyway, so your difficulty number to hit this guy. Ooh, I didn't look at your bow to see what the ranges are.
10, 20, 60. No, 10, 30, 60.
10, 30. Okay, so you're still in medium range.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's going to be a penalty of 2. So let's see, 10. That's down to 6. That's up to 8. So yeah, your difficulty number is an 8.
Difficulty is an 8.
Yes.
All right. All right. So we got difficulty 8. Submit. Boom.
Okay.
Apparently, I completely flubbed that one.
Oh yeah, you can't even spend a possibility on
possibility.
that.
Yeah.
So let's see, what kind of a mishap do we have? I'm going to break your bow.
Friggin'
Oh,
bow got wet.
no.
So
Sinew strain broke.
okay, so in order to get rid of that bow, and I'm going to look at your sheet here real quick, the modify button in the lower right hand corner, there is no way to save this bow. So click on that modify and then chase the sinew bow to the red square on the right
Yeah.
and
And
click on
trash
that red
can it.
square.
All
There
right.
you go.
Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
So sorry about that.
Crack.
Sorry about that. Mishaps are terrible.
Yep.
So now you may be able to recover a sinew bow, perhaps at the end of this combat. You never know.
Yeah. Look, I'm an Edeinos. Stuff comes, stuff goes.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. I
Exactly.
can always make me another one as soon as I get to somewhere that I can shape plants.
There you
Yeah,
go.
question.
Yeah.
Did any of the other writers from his group have bows, or was it just him?
It was just me. I was the only one that had a bow.
Yeah, the other Lacton riders, well, there might have been another one that had the boat, but they didn't attack. Well, they attacked the boat, but they didn't use their bows if they had them. I don't remember. I've already deleted those characters.
Okay.
So, all right, now,
And I passed out all my spare Harakt spears.
yeah,
So I've only got the one, but that's okay. One
yeah.
spear is all any Edeinos needs.
Well, Lena is still with you.
Lena's
so-
got a spear, and Isabella has got a spear.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm
right.
not taking Lena's spear, for God's sake. She's
No.
dynamite with that thing.
Yeah, she's right there with you though.
She'll probably kill
Just in
that
case.
T-Rex in one blow.
Okay, so Chris, are you apart from moving up to an area where you might be able to hit something, which would put you within the 50 feet? Are you going to do anything this round?
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot.
Okay, with the 38 or with your M4?
M4.
Okay.
The difficulty
Who or what?
what's the biggest threat right now?
That Tyrannosaurus.
Okay, I'm gonna go for the Tyrannosaurus.
Okay,
Nice.
so let's see. You've got the +4 for the size of the Tyrannosaurus. Your target number, but you were running, so that's a -2, so 10, 9, 8. Your difficulty number is going to be an 8. Wow, you rolled a 1 also?
Holy.
Wow,
Um,
that's not good.
Okay. Connor, roll for me just a regular d20.
Okay.
You can
give
do
me a
that, of
second.
course, off of the page. So,
Oh no, 2 1s in a row, guys.
Yes.
6.
so
Where's
okay,
the testosterone in the living land? Come on.
okay. Your weapon jams,
Oh no.
and the problem is you don't have a sufficient firearm skill to be able to clear it, at least not right now while you're in the middle of the action.
Okay. So that effectively stops me.
Well, that effectively stops you from using that weapon. Okay, I'm going to
It
put a
doesn't mean you
note.
can't like drop it from its strap and use the 38.
Well, means I have 2 shots left with that.
Right.
That's better than 0 shots with the rifle at this point.
Now, the question is, are you going to either temporarily or permanently drop the M4?
Oh, I was like, it has a strap, right?
Yeah, it's got a strap.
I just put the strap, I hoist it up and I'm switching to my revolver now.
Okay. Okay. So that's going to take you the entire next round to do. All right. So the 3 of you have acted. Here's something that I need to do. And I'll tell you what it is in just a moment.
The Tyrannosaurus was actually just a large velociraptor that
Uh,
is,
no, not quite that. No, no.
And now there's the actual Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is much bigger.
yeah, and the velociraptor was actually being ridden by a teddy bear. Ah,
Oh, that's funny.
Oh,
That's
let's
funny.
just hope it's not being ridden by someone you know personally, all right?
here's hoping. A
Oh,
But he
lot
just
of us came
literally
to.
killed his, companions like last session, last weekend.
Yeah, excuse me if I step away for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Check my cards, see what I can do. Oh, that one will be useful maybe later.
okay, when Ginger gets back, we shall resume because it's something that's actually going to kind of affect her a little bit.
Yeah.
So
I was
who's
just
up next?
you.
Me?
Actually, it's kind of towards the end of the round, so there's a couple of things that I need to take care of. So he's already done.
Yeah, Isabel and the doc and anybody else who wants to go.
Well, actually, there's nobody else who wants to go right now. Um, Isabel doesn't go, but you feel her left hand suddenly on your right shoulder, on Peach's right shoulder, and she has out her 38, and she no longer looks confused.
Ah, excellent.
Perfect.
Yeah.
If there's anything I can think of that she and I would both have to have sworn as citizens, as protectors of New York City, I'd start repeating that oath right now. Like, I solemnly swear that I will preserve and, protect and serve the population of New York.
Well,
Or I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
and she recites it with you. She says, "I understand what you do, and I think it worked. Thank you."
So we're shouting, well, not shouting, but we're muttering, I pledge allegiance, cock, to the flag, aim, of the United States of America. Boom!
I like that. That's pretty cool. Okay.
And to the Republic.
With this stand.
For which it stands. Aim. One nation. Boom. Under God. For which it stands. Boom. That's exactly what we're doing.
Okay.
No, it
that
would
works.
be with liberty. Aim and justice for
justice for you,
all.
Boom.
Apparently, they're muttering some sort of a
Contagious.
religious mantra that they got going on over.
There you go. That's probably what you see is the T-Rex is in the middle of that barrier area now, and you have 8 folks trying to poke sticks at it and beat it with these makeshift clubs and stuff like that. And a ninth person, the one that was picked up by the T-Rex, was kind of chewed and shaken and is now lying on the ground in a puddle of its own blood. That was only one. So now what we need to do is go ahead and get into rounds. Thank you for joining us on this continuing escapade as the threat to our Storm Knights and the action generally ramps up. Join us again for the next thrilling episode of The Possibility Wars.